One stormy, gloomy day, a boy received some news that he would never forget. He heard about the passing of his grandfather. The boy and his grandfather were very close, so he was sad. A few days later, it was time for the funeral. Everyone who came dressed in black. The boy looked inside the coffin to see his grandfather for the last time. The old man was lying there with a smile accompanied by wrinkles on his face. He was wearing his favorite hat, a black fedora that matched his white button-up shirt, black suspenders, and black slacks. The boy held back his tears and the service began. Everybody listened as the preacher spoke of the man and his accomplishments. He felt very proud of his grandfather. As he looked around the gravesite, he noticed everybody crying and hiding their tears behind their glasses. As the preacher brought the sermon to a close, he asked that they all bow their heads in prayer. The boy lowered his head as the prayer began. Soon after the preacher started, the boy looked up at his grandfather. He couldn't keep his eyes off the man. After a couple of seconds went by, the boy had witnessed something he could never quite explain. He'd seen his grandfather sit up and turn his head to him. His mouth had slowly grown into a big smile, almost a devilish grin. Then the old man had hopped up and began to dance around the graveyard. His grandfather had danced and danced. He had moved as if he were young again. However, you could hear the clickety-click of the old man's frail and brittle bones. The old man made his way over to his wife, the now widowed grandmother of the little boy, and whispered into her ear. As he spoke, a smile rose upon her face. The old man then gave her a kiss on the cheek and began to dance his way back inside his coffin. The old man sat back down in his coffin, but before he laid back into his final resting position, he took a look at the boy and gave him a smile, a wink, and then tipped his head. Right after the preacher said Amen, the boy rubbed his eyes, not knowing if what he'd seen was real or if it was just his imagination. The boy then watched everyone say their final goodbyes as he and his family got ready to head back home. When they arrived home, the boy decided to call it an early night due to the sad occasion and busy day. The next morning, he woke up to his mom sitting at the kitchen table with her head down, sobbing aloud, phone clutched in hand. "Mom, what is wrong?" the boy asked. "It's your grandma. She's dead. Your father went over to her house to check on her this morning, to see how she was doing. He found her hanging from the chandelier in the foyer, and in her pocket, a note that read, 'I did it just like you asked. Now we will be together again.'" It's in the dustiest books that you may find the best stories.